welcome to day 22 of Inktoberfest 2018. I hope you are all enjoying following along, making your tags and your projects. I am about a week behind, I must admit, but we have a couple of weekends free, so I'm going to be catching up on those. I also wanted to let you know that we have Save the Crafty YouTuber hop going on in the next couple of days, so check that out as well. We will also be participating in one of those days too, with an advanced technique that also relates to Inktoberfest. So that's all worked out perfectly. But today I wanted to talk to you about the Wendy Vecchi Blendable Inks. And I've got all the Wendy Vecchi range here with me, so I can kind of talk you through all of that. She also has a short video for you. So again, we'll link those things up in the blog post for you, and so you'll be able to find those as soon as they go live. And if you hop on over to the blog, make sure you sign up for emails, and every day you'll then get our Inktoberfest email sent to you. So far, these are the available Wendy Vecchi Blendable Inks. You can see here that we have all 12 of them. And they also relate to the Archival inks. I have the minis here. I have the remaining Archivals in mini pads. I may or may not have it on good authority that we're going to get all the Archival inks in these small pads, and then the plan hopefully is to have all 24 colours in the Archival and the Blendable, so they'll work together really well. I was really impressed with these Archival inks. I've had the Archival Black in my black ink drawer for a very long time and never really kind of did anything with it, but I went to a course at Ranger in New Jersey a couple of weeks ago. You may have followed along on Instagram and Facebook for my adventures, but I was really impressed by the properties of this ink, and I learned loads and loads of new things, and I'll be talking about those tomorrow in a video about Resist and some of the projects I made, and we'll be making some fun notes and things. And then the third day of Wendy Vecchi is the Archival inks as well. So you're going to get lots and lots of information on all of these things. Now, the blendable dye inks are water activated as well, so they kind of like distress inks but not like distress inks. It's a very kind of fine mix, and we will be talking about those as well. But what I wanted to show you today is these are the Wendy Vecchi currently available colours. There's also her perfect cardstock in white and in grey, and these look amazing. She showed us a project. I haven't got mine with me. I'll get them out tomorrow so I can share them with you. We took this, we inked up the Tim Holtz embossing folders, the really thick ones, and we put this sunflower in there and then put this grey cardstock through. Now that combination sounds pretty awful, but it came out stunning. I cannot tell you enough how much I love that technique, and I have it in mind for a couple of projects. So you get her two different perfect cardstocks in white and in grey, and these really do blend amazingly well. I recommend that if you want to play around with blending, either work with that Ranger Distress Stamping paper, that works really well too, but these work with these inks. This is the great thing about Ranger, is they provide you the tools to work with their supplies perfectly. So if I want to blend with my Wendy Vecchi inks, then I blend on her perfect cardstock, and therefore I get some really great images and some really great things from it. And so she also has a range of stamps. So she has background stamps like this. So we have big ones, we have smaller ones, we have edges and borders. And the great thing about them is that they are red rubber cling mounted. So it's already done for you. I love background stamps in red rubber. I think they work so much better than background stamps in photopolymer. I tend to get a much better impression this way. So she has those. And then she also has regular stamps, if there's such a thing. Again, they're made by Stampers Anonymous, and they have beautiful things in. And this is what I want to work with today, because I want to show you a couple of unique features about her stamps from Stampers Anonymous, as well as these wonderful inks. So I have my inks here. She also has a perfect card adhesive that I can't wait to show you tomorrow. This stuff is amazing and has some really unique properties. But we're going to start out with my Misty. And I am going to work just on my tag because I'm a lazy stamper and I don't want to have to do it twice. And we're going to work with beautiful background thing. This is from the Special Art SCS 160. from Wendy's range here. I'm going to make sure that I get this flower on, even if I don't get all the other things on. And this again is a great thing about why I stamp with my Misty Corners, because it means I can stamp over the edge on the other side. If this corner wasn't here, let me try and pick it up. I also took my foam out because I'm working with red rubber. If this was then right against here, I can't stamp off of this edge. By putting my corners in, I can stamp off either edge. So I can stamp off this side or I could stamp off this side, and it's going to work perfectly either way. Now we're going to put this, attach it to our lid. I'm going to stamp using Archival Jet Black because they coordinate so nicely together. So some lovely taps on here too. I hope you've been enjoying Inktoberfest. I'd love for you to leave me a comment and let me know what's been maybe your favourite ink, your favourite technique, maybe the best thing you've learnt from all of Inktoberfest. We'd love to know so that we can make it better and better every single year. But maybe there's something that stood out to you that you really, really love. Now, when we talk about blending with these, you can use your regular blending foam. So I have some here ready to go. You can also use these detail blending tools. And this was one of Wendy's requests for invention. And I'm going to open up this packet because I need some new ones. I only have the ones that I used in class. And they are double-ended, so you get 2 goes. It might be that you set one for each of these colours and you have one for the Archival and you have one for the blendable. You can make that decision as to whatever you like. Now, I want to add some colour to this lily in the middle. Now, of course we can order that. It doesn't seem hard. I've got my detail blending tools, but it's really easy to go over the edge. And this is why I love Wendy's stamps so much. This was something I learnt, and you have to remember to get your stencil the right way round. But she has these stencils that allow you to blend into each area with a different colour, and you can blend perfectly. So I'm going to just grab some masking tape to hold mine in place, and then we'll just keep moving it around. So I can place the stencil down, and as I say, this stencil comes with your stamp. So this comes in the packet. I'm going to start off with some red geranium. I haven't really thought this colour scheme through, so we're just going to go with it. I'm just going to dot off a little bit. And then you're going to blend however you normally blend, just in that nice circular motion. And so I can really add colour just to specific areas. You can make some areas lighter, some darker. So those turned over leaves at the bottom here, I'm going to do very light, and then I'm going to add a tinge of prickly pear to them because they're the underneath, like so. So you see how easy that is. Then we can take the next part of our stencil and we're going to now place this over, and so we can just colour those middle areas. And I'm going to start off with a tinge of prickly pear in there. Nothing too major. And then I'm going to go to my sunflower, and I really do hope we get the other 12 colours in these because I've really enjoyed playing around with them. And I had lots of projects that I've done, but I couldn't show you because I wanted to show you this as part of Inktoberfest, and I think it really comes together beautifully. So I'm blending that yellow and green together to give a really bright centre to my lily. Now these may not be traditional colours, but it's a stamp, so we can do whatever we want to it. So you can see how that is coming together, and I have that perfect blend. I can do the same with my leaf over here. It's cut perfectly. And what I like to do is place my masking tape over anywhere that I may kind of make a little whoopsie and end up blending into. So I'm going to start with my prickly pear, and it doesn't matter that I have the yellow on there because yellow is quite a leafy colour still. And I'm just going to make sure that's all over. And then I'm going to go in with my fern green. And so here I have lots and lots of control because I'm not worried about going over the edge. I'm worried about making sure that I have the colours I want. So you can see there how we've started to bring all of that together. Now, again, I could take my big blending tool and I could go around here and try to be super careful, but there's also a stencil that will allow me to do that and do it really, really well. So again, I'm going to put my masking tape up here. I'm also going to grab a little bit more masking tape. And you can imagine how I have learned to do this and why I've learned to do this. So I'm just, and I'll link up this masking tape. And a lot of people think that I use the purple thermal web tape. This is not that. This is just a purple painter's tape and I really, really like it. I've been using it for a long time and the only time I don't use it is if I'm working with watercolours. Then I will use my frog tape. Because my frog tape is waterproof. My brain is not with me this morning. So I'm going to blend some Bluebird and I'm going to just load up my paint. You can see it's that beautiful blue colour. I can start on my plastic and start on my glass mat, wherever you want to. And I'm going to go dark on the edges and my plan is to have a lighter centre. But you see I can go all over my lily and so I can blend nicely. And actually I want to just reposition my tag slightly because my lily isn't quite right. To make sure that I'm up to those edges. And I'm just going to blend those in too. But the reason I want to add a couple of different things to this, there's also this watering can colour. I can't describe to you why it does what it does, but when you put this with the yellow, you end up with some beautiful effects. You also can blend it in with pretty much any colour. And I can't tell you why this colour is so magic or that why the sunflower is so magic. There's just two colours in this range for me that add a touch of magic to any project. So I'm just adding some tinges in here and it kind of creates this smoky blue environment. You also can overlay the sunflower onto anything, and I'm going to use a different blending foam for my sunflower. Again, don't ask me why, this just works. You can add this yellow over literally anything and it adds a glow. And you can see that glow starting to come. I'll lift it up in a second so you can see exactly where my glow. So you see there how I've added some smoky details, and then this greeny glow is that sunflower yellow. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? Can you imagine? It's either like chopping this and sending it as a card. You can do all sorts of really awesome things with these areas. So I absolutely love these stamps just because of these stencils. I think it's a genius idea that she came up with. And then you can take your colours. I'm going to go back to my watering can here. And so you can see how you can blend as normal. Now the other thing I found working with these blendables, and I was so excited when I came back from my class with Wendy, that Hannah and I spent the entire morning just going over these inks and all the things you could do with them. And we both said how easy we find these to blend. We don't get any of those circular lines that we sometimes used to get with these blending tools. They just seem to melt into your paper. And it doesn't matter what paper you use. Yes, I would recommend that you used the Wendy Perfect cardstock because you're going to get the best results doing that. But you can see I'm just working on a regular tag here. We link these up in the description and they are just a shipping tag. They're not made in any way they're not the mixed media tags, they're none of those things, they're just a regular Avery tag that I bought in bulk. So, and I can add a little bit of that yellow over the top. I can do that at the top. And then if you add different things in different places, you can write some notes to yourself as to how you created this particular technique. So I'm going to split my top and bottom. And so you can see there how gorgeous does that look. So I'm really in love with these inks. I think I would really, really recommend that you tried them out. But the other thing I want to show you is how they react with water. So I showed you before I told you before how these are water reactive as well, just like Distress Inks. I'm going to just try to put it in my center. And I'm going to give this a spritz. Obviously, the more water you put in, the different techniques you can get. I'm going to give it a quick blast with my heat tool, if I can get to it. It's just stuck under the other one. You can also take a little bit of kitchen towel and blot out some colours. And so if I lift this up, you can see how I've started to get some of these watermarks in this piece here. And I can do that by adding more water, and I can lift up. I can do water from afar. And I'll dig out all those samples that I had from my class, and I can show you all the different things we learned, and maybe you'll have a favourite technique and I can create that into a video. But I wanted to just kind of give you an idea of how these blendables work. I want to show you how pretty they are. The fact you can add your watermarks the same is not the same. In a similar way to your oxides, they're definitely not the same way, but you do get beautiful, beautiful patina when you add that water. So that is today's tag. I hope you've enjoyed today's tutorial. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so that you get all of our Inktoberfest and beyond videos. We'd also love if you gave us a thumbs up if you've enjoyed watching this video. I'd love to know your thoughts if you have blendables, or maybe you're going to run out and grab some. Links again in that video description. We also have a 10% off for Ellen Hudson throughout Inktoberfest, so you'll want to grab that coupon too. And we also have a Tonic coupon every day. So again, go and grab that one. So we'll hopefully see you again tomorrow. I'm super excited. I'm going to grab those samples. I'm also going to show you a technique using card adhesive you do not want to miss. So I'll see you soon. Happy stamping. Bye.